Hey everyone! In this video I'm going to show you how to take a SharePoint list or a list in Microsoft list and transform it into a beautiful Gantt timeline view so that people can easily track and manage progress on your different projects that you're managing and navigate between different projects as well. And this solution heavily relies on a PnP open source solution that's provided out there, also linked in the description of the video. So let's see how we can take this data and turn it into something that looks like this. So to get started, I am going to start with a brand new list. You don't have to necessarily, but it would be a lot easier for you because in this solution we're going to use a open source PnP JSON view formatting sample. And if you can do it exactly like I'm going to show you here, it'll be much easier to implement. So I'm going to go to my site where I want to create this list and go to New and choose List. And we'll just start with a blank list in this case. Okay, I'm going to call this one my current projects, and I'll show that in my site navigation and create. Okay, now we get this title field out of the box, but we do need to make sure that people always fill this out. This will be your milestone title or your task title. So with most other columns, you're going to be able to drop down the column header, go to column settings and edit it, but we can't with the title column. So to make that required, we're going to go up to the settings wheel on the upper right corner, choose list settings, and then select title from the columns section. Here, we're able to change this toggle where it says require that this column contains information to yes. Right, that's all we have to do, and click on OK. So that's our first field, pretty easy. Let's go back to our list. Now the next four are all going to be dates, so I won't repeat the steps every single time, but just follow along with this first one and then repeat for the next three. We're going to click on Add Column and then choose Date and Time. All right, we'll click on Next, then name this one Project Start, and it will stay as date and time with no time included, but expand More Options and check the toggle for Require that this column contains information. Alright, that's all we're going to do. So give it a name, don't change anything else except under More Options, we're going to turn on Require. Now repeat that 3 more times, but it's going to be for Project Do, Task Start, and Task Do. And don't include any spaces in your column names. Alright, so here we go with the second one. It's Project Do, More Options, and Require. The third one, Add Column, Date and Time. This one will be Task Start, More Options, and Require, and Save. And the last one, Add Column, Date and Time, Next, Task Do, More Options, Require, and Save. Alright, we got those 4 dates out of the way. They're all very similar, but the most important part with this entire demonstration is that you make sure that you're naming them exactly like I am with no spaces so that that JSON that you'll paste here in a little bit will work without any modifications needed. Alright, now we're going to do a number column. So add column and choose number, and this is actually going to end up being a percentage in the end, showing completion of the task. So number and next, and let's call this progress, and then we're going to select the button here for %. Alright, there we are. And then more options, and just like the others, we're going to scroll down and require that this column contains information, and save. Okay, now we're going to add a choice field, the only field that we're doing that is not required. This choice field is going to let us know if this is a task or a milestone. So we're calling it a task type. Okay, we only need 2 options in this one, so I'm going to replace choice 1 with task, and I'm going to replace choice 2 with milestone, and I just X'd out choice 3. We don't need that one. Okay, and save. Next field up is a person field, so we're going to go to Add Column, choose Person, and this is who is going to be assigned the task or milestone. So I'll choose Next, I'll type in Assigned to User. Okay, I could choose profile pictures or not, that's not going to affect anything, but I do need to make sure that I require. Now this does not support multiple assignments, so you do have to leave Allow Multiple turned off. Alright, and I'll save. And next up we have our final column, which is going to be a multiple lines of text column. This one is the description of the task or milestone. So choose multiple lines, do next, and call it task description. Alright, this one is required. Make sure you do not turn on enhanced rich text. This needs to look just like mine right now. Only that bottom toggle under more options turned on. All right, and save. So now we've got all the fields we need. Now there's one more thing we want to do. We want to sort by task start. So I'm going to drop down the task start column header, and then I'm going to choose older to newer. Okay, so again, drop down task start and sort older to newer. There we go. And whenever you see an asterisk in SharePoint list views, you'll know that it's not saved. So I'm going to drop down that list view, save view as, and choose save. Okay, and that asterisk goes away. Now, next up, I want to leave my all items view just like this without any other changes so that I can always use this more as a spreadsheet, but I want a separate view for my Gantt view. So I'm actually going to drop down the all items view and save this view as one more time, but I'm going to separate it and call it Gantt, okay, or timeline if you will. All right, we're going to make this public so that other people can use this as well. It's not just private to me, and save. There we go. So I can switch back and forth. Right now these are identical, all items in Gantt, but eventually Gantt will be my Gantt view. Now, right now this data isn't very exciting, so take a moment and just fill out some of your actual project data or sample project data, and I'm going to do the same and put in some data that we can work with here to make sure that when we apply the formatting, it's working as expected. Okay, so for me to do this quickly, I'm going to go to Edit and Grid View. And I have some sample data that I'm just going to copy here. There we go. I'll click in that first cell and I'll just paste my sample data. We'll give that a second to save. You can see it's going row by row, so make sure that finishes. Yep, this just gives us some sample data to work with. Now that I've got data in here, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to drop down my Gantt view and I'm going to choose Format Current View. This is where the magic happens. So we're formatting that Gantt view, and then very important here at the bottom of the panel we're going to choose Advanced Mode because that's how we can paste JSON. And then look at the blog post or the resources that are linked in the description of this video to get this JSON. And I'm just going to copy it here very quickly. There we go. And we'll paste it in that box and make sure that if there's anything in there already, just replace it. So it'll look kind of like this at first. Just delete everything that's in there and replace it with everything in the JSON. Okay, now I'm going to save that and we'll take a look. All right, it's looking pretty good. I can see my project started on 6/29. I've got my current today mark showing me that it's September 22nd, and I can see the end of my project is coming up on 4/9. Now let's look at the raw data again very quickly. I'm going to switch over to all items. I can see that all of my project start dates and all of my project due dates are the same. That's important for this to work because in this case, even though my list is currently called current projects, this is one project that we're looking at. So some of you may be wondering, how could I get this to support multiple projects? Well, let's go back to our Gantt view. If we look at how it's currently sorting, we can see that we've got milestones that are kind of mixed up beneath some of the tasks that are actually within that milestone. So the first thing I want to do to kind of fix this and make it work for me is I want to put my milestones first, and then all of the tasks that make up that milestone would fall beneath it. So that's one thing we're going to do. And then I also want to show you how if you do want to show multiple projects in this list view, you can do it in one view. You always have the option where I could filter this view to one specific project just by adding like a project name column, but I want to be able to have more versatility with it. Okay, so first up, let's sort and get those milestones showing up first. So I'm going to drop down my Gantt view one more time, and I'm going to go to Edit Current View. Alright, and we have to come back here to these classic settings because it's the only place we can do a multi-level sort. But really all we need to do is what you see here. We have task start sorting ascending, and then I've only just added task type as a second level sort, also an ascending. So we're still sorting by date, but now we also want to pay attention to whether it's a milestone or a task. So if both the milestone and the task have the same start date, it'll put milestone first. Okay, let's click on OK and make sure that's looking correct. Perfect. Now milestone 1 is showing up first. I can see that began on July 13th. I see all of the tasks that started on July 13th or later underneath that, all the way up until our second milestone right here, where I see that will begin on September 28th. So we're getting close to that, and we have a lot of work left to do, it looks like. So we can start to begin to see the value of having a Gantt chart, especially for project management. Now that next level is getting multiple projects represented here. Right now, once again, we're still only looking at one project, but we do have, let's say, 2 projects that we want to be able to toggle back and forth between in this Gantt experience. So for this to work, I'm going to switch back to my all items view to work on this kind of like a spreadsheet. And I want to add one more column. I'm going to call this, let's go with project name. It can just be text in my case, or you can do choice if you prefer, but I'll go with text just for simplicity. And I'm going to call it project name. And since this one is not part of your JSON, you don't have to worry about what you call it or whether there's a space or anything. So project name and then single line of text is good, and I will require it just for my own purposes. And then I'll click on save. Okay, now let's go through and add some project names, like how about Excelsior? There we go, and I'm just going to drag to fill that down. And then let's add more data. I'm going to pause, add more sample data, and I'm going to add another project here so that we can see how this works. All right, I added more sample data. I have different dates for this project. You can see my first one was June 29 through next year, April 9. This new project is going to start on December 26th and go through next October 6th. So let's give this project a name. I'll go with hardware refresh, perhaps. There we go, and let's also drag to fill that one. All right, and just looks like I got an extra row down here at the bottom, so no worries there. We'll let that catch up with me and save, so I'm watching for those spinning wheels like we're seeing there. So now I'm on the all items view, but I want to go back to Gantt. How do I get this to show both projects in a way that's intuitive and doesn't mix the two together? Because we can see right now it's going from June until April. So if we go back and look at our data, we can see that that's only showing the first project still. So rather than do it that way, what we're going to do is drop down Gantt again, and we're going to go to Edit Current View again. But this time, instead of worrying about sort, we're going to use grouping. So I'm going to go down to Group By, and I'm going to choose my new project name column, keep it as ascending, and by default, I want to show these as collapsed, meaning that people have to choose one. All right, and then I'm going to go to OK. And now when people click over from the All Items view to my Gantt view, they're going to have to select a project. Now it's going to work whether they click on the words or the arrow, but I want to make a recommendation here. Train your users to choose the name of the project as opposed to the arrow. And here's why. If I choose the name, it kind of drills down into the data and gives me a specific timeline where we can see it starts in June, ends in April, and it feels like it's isolated just to this one project. When I'm finished looking at this project, I can either X out the name of the project or clear my filters. Then it takes me back to the top level where I can choose a different project. Now we're looking at hardware, which has a different timeline starting in December, ending in October. Perfect. Okay, now if I didn't choose the name of the project, let me show you what happens. If I drop down the arrow for Excelsior, you can see I don't get that top timeline. It doesn't show me the overall start and end dates. And it doesn't give me the today marker either, which should be showing up right around here. So it's not the most ideal experience, but if all you need to do is check in on one task, great. That'll give you that information. Now, there's a few bells and whistles that came with this JSON format and I want to highlight. Let's go into one of our projects. All right, we're looking at Project Excelsior here. And notice when I hover over one of these tasks, I can change the status really quickly just by choosing a button. So if this is now at 75%, I'll just choose 75% and it fills in the data bar really quickly. If I need to update more details about it though, I will just hover over it and I'll choose the pencil icon, which opens up the edit form for that item. And I can change everything about it, who it's assigned to, add a description, so on and so forth, even attach artifacts if I need to. It's also nice that I can comment on this and I can mention maybe who it's assigned to and ask if Miriam can provide an update. Okay, and I'll send that to Miriam. There we go. Now this specific assignee didn't have access to my site, so I'm going to go ahead and share this item with them. It doesn't share the whole site, but just this one task assigned to them. They're going to get an email. They can come here and modify just the one item. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to close that. Now let's go to another one, and I'll hover over it as well. Here we are. If it is late, like we can see this one is, it tells you the task is running late. But let's look at one that's completed, and we can see it doesn't give us that message. So really nice visual indicator, both the pink box around the progress bar as well as that task is running late message. Now for anything upcoming, we're not going to see anything like that because of course they're not due yet, so they're all going to look just fine, just like these are. But it's nice that when I'm hovering, I'm seeing who it's assigned to, when it's supposed to start and end, how complete it is, and the description that I provided for that task. Alright, now I don't have to hover over and get that pencil every time. That can be a little tricky to do if you're just trying to work quickly. So a couple options for other edits. You can just double click on a row, and that's going to open up that edit card for you. You can also switch into grid view at any time. Even if you're on the Gantt view, you can just click edit in grid view and it will give you that worksheet experience where you can quickly and easily go through the entire data and update that. And that's the video. I hope it's been really helpful for you. Please comment if you found other ways of modifying this to make it work even better for you. It's awesome in the community how we can share and learn from one another to make solutions like this even better and more versatile for everybody's needs. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching.